Revision on General Knowledge. History. The Partition and Exploration of Africa. German Annexation of Cameroon. Some of the reasons why the Europeans explore Africa were to trade, get raw material for their industries, spread the gospel, etc. 1. The rush by European powers to occupy territories in Africa was known as the Scramble for Africa. The leader of the Reformation was Martin Luther. I saw with infinite pleasure the great object of my mission where great words spoken by Mungo Park. When Africa was partitioned, Cameroon was given to Germany. The Niger River reaches the sea through a delta. Which two brothers discovered this? Richard and John Lander, also known as the Lander brothers. The European who discovered the source of the river Niger was Mungo Park. Who convened the Berlin Conference? Otto von Bismarck. The Berlin Conference was held in the year 1884. The main aim of the Berlin Conference was to see into the peaceful partition of Africa. The Germans dug road linking some major towns in Cameroon and also built railways. The rush by European powers to occupy territories in Africa was known as the Scramble for Africa. The sharing of African land amongst themselves by the European powers was known as the Partition of Africa. The country that was not colonized during the Partition of Africa was Liberia. Africa was termed a dark continent by the Europeans because the interior was unknown. The Berlin Conference was convened in the year 1884. The aims or objectives of the Berlin Conference was to see into the peaceful partition of Africa. The European power that took the greatest share during the partition of Africa was France, while Britain took the richest part. The Cape of Good Hope was first reached by Bartholomew Dias on the 12th of March 1488. European exploration of sub-Saharan Africa begins with the Age of Discovery in the 15th century, pioneered by the Kingdom of Portugal under Henry the Navigator, who was known as the father of navigation. Henry the Navigator, who explored the upper part of the river Niger in West Africa around 1796 and discovered its source, Mungo Park. Livingstone first stepped foot on African soil was in Cape Town. Who was the chief explorer of South Africa? David Livingstone, 1813 to 1873. Who were the first Europeans to follow the course of the river Niger, and discover that it led to the Atlantic? Richard Lemon Lander and his brother John Lander, also known as the Lander brothers. A Portuguese explorer, Fernão do Po, discovered the island of Fernando Po. The Cameroonians resisted German rule because they use on the people forced labor. Some German antiquities in Cameroon are the Prime Minister's Lodge in Bia, the Bamenda Fort, the old burial ground in Bia, the old government school in Bia, the Botanical Garden in Limbe. The German capital of Cameroon was Bia. The first German governor in Cameroon was Julius von Sudden. The person who annexed Cameroon for Germany was Dr. Eugene Nachtigal. Dr. Nachtigal signed treaties with two Cameroonian kings. They were Kings Bell and Akwe. Someone who was sent to annex Cameroon for Britain came too late. Who was he? Dr. Hewitt. He is known in history as Too Late Hewitt.